Greetings nerdy list aficionados and welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. We're back at it again, the couples blowing your minds. I'm so glad you all liked it. I live for telling people about stuff like this, it sparks joy. I'm Sash and these are the top 10 superhero couples you won't believe exist part 2. If you like this, we'll do villains. Please want villains. There's some great who greenlit this moments. Number 10. So get ready, this one has to be low because I'm stretching hard for them to qualify. It's a mighty reach. Renee Montoya and Two-Face. Renee Montoya would become the Question and Two-Face was Harvey Dent. Boom, acceptable. Anyways, yeah, these two had a bit of an odd, kinda sorta one-sided courtship, mostly one-sided. This happened leading up to Gotham Central and was not romantic. This one's not cute. No hazelnut lips here. So during No Man's Land, the Batman arc where a giant earthquake devastated Gotham and villains took full advantage and Batman refused help from people who came offering it like Superman cause, well, he's Batman. Renee Montoya became a go-between for the police force who remained and Two-Face, who is the leader of one of the sections of Gotham. She would try to connect with the Harvey Dent side of him, and it worked, only a little too well. Seeing how tirelessly she worked and how understanding she could be, he fell in love with her. His Dent persona would take over for part of this arc too, putting him temporarily in the good column, and at that point they had a good relationship. However, this would all end badly when he discovered she was a lesbian and proceeded to out her to her friends, family, and colleagues, hoping they would all reject her and she would have no choice but to be with him, the only person who truly loved her. Dark stuff. She obviously gave that a hard pass. Number 9. Batman and Batgirl, The Killing Joke, but also secretly some other places. The adaptation of The Killing Joke is now infamous for how poorly received the extended story featuring Barbara Gordon was well received. It was intended to give her more agency and character before her paralysis. It instead, for many fans, reduced her to a whining love interest who was more of a caricature, but some people loved it. Mileage varies. The character development would involve her struggling with balance of violence and being Batgirl, but also her proving she wasn't just a little girl by sleeping with Batman, just mounting him after they fight on a rooftop.
You wanted! I made it work! Ugh.
This activated for many people the "he's friends with her dad" alarm bells. But this is a result of a particular creator, Bruce Timm. Since Timm's days on the animated series, he has been hinting that Batgirl had a crush on Batman and that they had a thing. They would actually have a brief thing later in that DCAU continuity, and in Batman Beyond's timeline, which continues that continuity, Bruce Wayne would get her pregnant and she would miscarry in a fight, and that would lead to the rift between Bruce and Dick. This relationship, some people like it, many people don't, and even those that do feel it could be handled better than it has been at points. Rooftop sex. Raise the roof. Number 8. Batman and Black Canary. For most people this comes to us from an Elseworlds non-canon story, but I'm putting it because everything about Frank Miller's All-Star Batman and Robin is hilarious, well to me anyway. At one point in this tale, Batman ends up showing up after Black Canary has taken out some bike thugs, and actually he shows up just in time to help, and the two proceed to make out. It's all battle tension and fishnets. However, there have been some hints of this in main continuity from way back, like late Silver Age, early Bronze Age. Personally, I don't hate it. This panel about them breaking the bond of loneliness, it kinda got me. I feel like Bronze Age Batman would treat her better than Bronze Age Arrow, or Modern Age Arrow, even though she crossed universes to be with Green Arrow pre-Crisis. She'd also be good to all the Robins. Oh god, I think I ship this now. People like to throw this into Elseworld stories, but maybe it's time to shake up that main verse. No more Bat-Cat. Bat Canary. No one would stand for it, I know. Number 7. She-Hulk and Tony Stark. These two are players in the Marvel Universe, so it seemed like an inevitability that at one point they would end up together. It's more of a teammates with benefits type deal. But they have some deep discussions, and Tony respects her as a teammate, a friend, and a lawyer. Before what I like to call a digital era, they were pretty close. She also calls him out on his nonsense, which he oftentimes needs. His ego can get out of control. Still, these are often quick things, so some people are like, what? That happened? Yes, it did. There's also this joke about how he slept with Gamora and it was lame. That the sex was lame, not the joke. That really varies. Humor is tricky and very subjective. Number 6. Tony Stark and the Wasp. This is a new one from the 2018 Iron Man run actually, and they were really excited about it. This got a very lovingly drawn cover. So Jan and Tony. This is one of those pairings that's like, okay, sure, why not? Most of their stories are about them being busy and having to squeeze in dates, but it's a really smooth relationship, not too much conflict. Not yet. They also have cutesy puns like, don't worry, I won't sting you. Too late, I'm already stung. No man, give me that villain banter. This was during a movie date. It's also normal and nice. For domesticity lovers, it's great. But still for some fans, it's a bit of an, okay, did you just draw names out of a hat and be like who hasn't dated yet? Still, some are just glad she's not with Hank because of that one panel. But there's not only more to that panel, but more to how their relationship soured. Still, if we can retcon away entire universes, why can't we retcon that out? Some things stick no matter how much retcon or reboot scrub you use. Will Tony and Janet last? Probably not. Number 5. Wolverine and Squirrel Girl. Yes, you heard that right. Just think about it, cause this happened, largely off panel, but they linger on the hints of it when it comes up, and apparently it ended badly. This is mentioned in New Avengers number 7 from 2010, when Wolverine enters the mansion and sees her going, Doreen, and she goes, James, so you know it was serious. I thought we promised to never see each other again. Then he has to awkwardly tell her that he's on the team, so she'll be seeing much more of him. Squirrel Girl was Jessica Jones and Luke Cage's nanny at the time. Well, their daughter's nanny, not their nanny. This led to speculation that vacillates between being confirmed and unconfirmed that Wolverine, or James, was Squirrel Girl's first love and that he took her virginity. Cause these are the facts the world needs. The two would grow to at least be cordial. Number 4. Spider-Man and Kitty Pryde. What romance list is complete without a trip to the now infamous Ultimate Verse? Well, many lists actually, but not this one. Marvel's Ultimate Verse did a lot of tweaking of characters' ages and gave us a whole group of heroes firmly teens, lots of them going to school together, or at least learning that they were the same age when identities were revealed. Such was the case with Spider-Man and SHADOWCAT. He actually started dating her after breaking up with Mary Jane because he was tired of always putting her in danger and worrying about her. And Kitty, thanks to her power set and training, could more than hold her own. They would also team up and fight crime together. This would be one of Peter's great loves in the Ultimate Verse, and provide much confusion for readers who accidentally picked up an Ultimate Verse comic thinking it was the main verse one. You can make the label as big as you want. Mistakes still happen. Of course, Spidey would die in this verse, making way for Miles Morales, although he would be brought back to life, cause death in comics means as much as Peter's word that he's gonna show up someplace on time. Nothing. Number 3. Black Widow and Daredevil. This is actually, or was actually, one of the great Marvel romances. Matt Murdock and Natasha was serious business, and people who remember have made some cool crossover fanvids, check them out. These two loved each other, and Black Widow would even confess to him that she loved him, which is a big deal for her. But Daredevil was always worrying that it wasn't meant to be, or that they were just too different, or too dedicated to their respective missions and different goals. Ultimately, he would prove himself right. He would leave Hell's Kitchen but would grow resentful and miss his city. So he would go back, and eventually the two would both be involved in more famous romances. Daredevil with Elektra, and currently the big one for Natasha is her and Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier. Thanks to the whole backstory that they knew each other in the Red Room, which is a great retcon. Not all retcons are created equal, some are good. Oh man, the salt, I'm sorry, you probably felt that through the screen. Writers remember this happened though, so it comes up, but for new readers it can be a what? Wait! Number 2. Captain America and Scarlet Witch. You have no idea how badly I wanted to put Wanda and Doom on here, but there was mind control involved, so I went wholesome instead. Quality content. Also, I just learned people are now calling this pairing Scarlet America, and I'm here for it, but also Captain Scarlet, or Captain Witch. Think about it. This has happened more than once, such as in the comic Captain America and the Falcon, or the Uncanny Avengers, just to name a couple. Couple of fun. These two often strike people as an odd pair, but it's a soft pairing. The two as people who can trust each other with their pain, and also Cap trusts Wanda even after everything, which is a big deal for her. And she sees some of the darker sides of Cap, like his post-war trauma, and can help him through it. But like I said, this one comes out of nowhere for some people. But this could maybe work? Give wholesome power couples a chance. And number 1. Rogue and Deadpool. Yes, this happened. Here they are making out in the sky, something comics like to portray as if it would be romantic and not terrifying. This is from the same run as our last number, the Uncanny Avengers, or the team known as Avengers Unity Squad. While on this team, Rogue and Deadpool got to know each other, and Rogue found herself coming to like Wade, who was on more of an even keel at the time. She really started to develop a soft spot for him when she learned about his daughter Ellie, and saw how hard he was trying to be a good father. So the two would have a fling. It would be brief and have an artificially constructed moment, where she kisses him, in the sky, and absorbs his powers and his appearance, even though she probably shouldn't have absorbed that part. But it's still sweet, because she says that she doesn't care what he looks like. This was adorable, two misunderstood souls together, but now it's treated as a joke, especially in the Rogue Gambit miniseries. I I don't know, I thought it was cute. What do you think? So those were 10 more couples that people didn't know existed, the second part. Thanks so much for watching Top 10 Nerd. Do you want the villains? I think you want the villains. I'm Sasha, I'll see you again soon. But before you go, share, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so that you never miss a vid. Bye bye.